Microphone's on. Oh, Jesus, it's very fucking loud. Pardon my. We're just waiting on a few more people to come in. We've got the gorgeous guy from Not Gorgeous Anymore. Pop in. So, the few people that have showed up, I know this is the last session, so let's try to make it as entertaining as possible. I'll make it as engaging as possible. The whole purpose is AI. Hands up if you have seen a standout here that isn't about AI. No, okay, exactly. Everything's powered by AI these days. So naturally, what I'm going to talk to you about is exactly that, AI. So hopefully it's not too boring, and hopefully you get something out of it. And to give a little bit of context on the title, it's about instant AI and boosting the way we can remove all that guesswork. So it's all about boosting revenue. So a little bit of an intro on me. I am the Senior Partnerships Manager at Instant. I've been with Instant for about 3 years. I've worked with them from their initial products of checkout, moved over into audiences, and about 10 months ago, we introduced AI. So as we always say, AI is the future. It's not the future anymore, it's now. So we wanted to start off with a few reports. So we know we all work with Shopify, we all work with Klaviyo, we all work with a few of these leading tech platforms, but we wanted to just outline some of the reports that they bring out to the market, which is all around sort of just the AI stats. I personally have read through a few of them, and even just looking at like one of that main comment just down the bottom, which is the market of AI-powered e-commerce tools is predicted to reach around $16.9 billion by 2030. Like, that's a big, big fucking number. I don't know about you guys, but it's a lot more in my account. I mean, I've never seen that much money. When we kind of start doing a comparison of the growth of what AI looks like, it's interesting to see. So I always kind of like usually would give it out to the audience to tell me, but there's not a lot of audience to tell me. So what I'm going to do is just tell you the stats. Does anyone actually know how long it took a platform like Instagram to hit 100 million followers? It took them 18 months to do it. Then you've got something like TikTok. That was the next big thing. Everyone knows about it, how it started generating revenue. Every brand was wanting to get on TikTok. To get to 100 million followers, it took them 9 months. ChatGPT being the first AI platform in market, it took them 2 months to get to 100 million followers. So just think about the growth of how much AI has just developed in such a short period of time. We all talk about it. I make the joke that we walk through this expo and everyone's got AI powered. It's because that is the thing. It's about trying to find the best strategy that works for us. Another one here is looking into Klaviyo reports as well. Klaviyo, one of our integration partners, obviously it's still maintaining that human touch. Wanted to really focus on the fact that when it comes to AI, yes, you're improving your strategies, yes, you're improving your processes, but you still need to maintain the human touch. It's finding that sweet spot where it's not just about replacing people, it's about making sure that you're able to strategize with your team in particular and build out the focus is in different areas. So this is a great report from Klaviyo on that one. So it's not about choosing between human or AI, it's about the efficiency. So how do we actually drive email revenue when it hasn't been innovated in a decade? I mean, we all work with an ESP. There's a few ESPs in market. This is actually a pretty interesting one. When you look at sort of the segmentations, you look at sort of the content that's being created, it's all the same thing and it's all really just manual. So how have we done it? Today, every single one of your shoppers are receiving the exact same email. And we all know it. You get the, "Hi, John Smith," slap on a template. That's what they're getting. This is what you've left in abandoned cart. Amazing. That's perfect. But when it comes to any updates, so think about the manual processes that you're taking. So any refreshes, any promos, you do a rebrand, you do a new photo shoot for your products. All of these things have to be updated in your emails. So this is time that you're actually losing from your from your staff members. So what do we need to do there? It's like, this is where we need to start making these adjustments. Also, looking into that, your platforms aren't learning from the results. All we're depending on is on all the reports that people have done in the past to understand more. So the reports that tell us, okay, it's the best time to send out the emails 2 hours after a trigger or after an event, that sort of thing. Or the best messaging is to add emojis in subject lines or that as well. So your email strategy is actually not learning from anything that's being sent out. One of the things I always like to outline is that shoppers already know what they want these days. And 10 years ago, I started in sales. Actually, it's longer, so I mean, showing my age. 15 years ago, I started in sales. And the first thing they had taught me was that shoppers are they're smarter now. We have everything at the tip of our fingertips. Like, everything's on our phone. We can look at from products, fabrics, brands, comparisons. ChatGPT even these days can provide you with an exact replica of what you're looking at in completely different brands. So everything's there. So now it's time to use AI to sort of power that intelligence. And if you're kind of looking at some of the some of the brands that are actually using it, how they're actually cracking that retention is using those AI strategies. If you haven't met her, she's a little redhead that's running around, Memo Bottle. So she is one of our clients. So we actually use one of her templates here. But to give you context, AI in particular, so instant AI for us is all about hyper-personalized messaging. So what we're doing is we've created a system that allows you to send a personalized individual message, a tailored message to each individual shopper based on their experience on your site. So imagine we've got someone in the crowd that's wearing black, someone in the crowd that's wearing a green polo shirt. All of these things, when those emails are getting sent out, it's starting to curate a nice, the context of an email that's more personalized approach. It's not a blanket, template that gets sent out anymore. It's handwritten. Pretty much exactly the same thing I just said before. Handwritten when it comes to the tailored approach. We look into the subject lines, we look into the preview lines. The main focus is to give your shoppers that sort of warm, fuzzy feel. So it's exactly what you're using at the moment. The only difference is that you're not just using that one standard template that all of your even loyal customers that are coming back will be receiving. Outside of that, when it comes to curating it, AI is all about building out those email templates themselves. So we're using your domain as the Bible. And what that means is that you go for a rebrand, you go through promotional, labels or whatever it is on your website, that automatically filters through to your emails. So you never have to be updating anything at all. It's just focusing on what your actual website says. Say, for example, you've actually adjusted your pricing. So you're going through a sale on blouses, 30% off. In your standard ESPs, you actually have to go in, adjust every flow, adjust every email, adjust every campaign, just to push out that price adjustment. Where with instant AI, it actually just auto updates itself, if you'd like to. You can set those rules and adjust it as well. Now, with personalization, we see an increase of 36% just by having those additional personalizations. And this is across all of our clients. So we work with about just over 1,500 brands now, and about 70, nearly 80% of our brands are using instant AI as one of their main tools for email. Smart triggers when it comes to sending. Now, the focus for us was, as I mentioned earlier, all of these reports. We focus on reports. We try and understand, when's the right time to be sending things out. Well, AI is it's a learning tool. So it's actually learning from how your shoppers are shopping or what time your shoppers are actually opening emails. So it's looking into that aspect as well. Instead of just doing the 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, which might be the standard across e-com, we know that, someone that's working in hardware, shoppers that are buying from hardware stores or shoppers that are buying in cosmetics might be opening at completely different times. They may have different schedules. So that whole report aspect that we try and follow doesn't actually work for us. So with send time optimization is one of the newer things that we also improved as well, is making sure that those emails are getting triggered at the exact time that the email is getting sent. That your shopper is opening up their emails. So what that means is every time they sit at their computer, they're focusing, they're sitting at their computer, opening up their emails, your email will be the first one up on their list. So it doesn't get lost with all of the emails. On top of that, we know that the abandoned cart is the biggest one. It drives nearly 30% of the online revenue. So this is where we really need to focus on optimization. So then we introduce things like smart coupons. I would imagine everyone has a welcome series, with coupons or like a abandoned cart come back and we'll check out 20%, that sort of thing. But that's just a blanket coupon that gets sent out, and there's actually a fair bit of margin bleed in that. With smart coupons, this is an AI incentivized coupon. So what it means is because the AI system is following your shopper during while they're on the domain, we're able to detect and understand how engaged they are with you. So if it's a really loyal customer and they're heavily engaged, then maybe they just need a little bit of a push. So the AI incentivized coupon is able to adjust based on how engaged your shopper is. If it's someone that's not as engaged, but we want to get them back into close, then maybe that percentage is adjusted and then goes up. So it's giving you that, it's starting to reduce that margin bleed instead of just sending out blanket coupons. Does that make sense? Yes? Great. Awesome. Outside of that, the new thing is also AI-powered SMS. So just like your email, no difference, just like your SMS that you'd have built into your emails, it's just AI-powered SMS as well. So personalizing those text messages to your clients. With the reporting aspect, we talk about reporting a lot because everyone wants to know what the actual numbers are, what the differences are. You don't have to go out and start paying to get these reports built out. Within the system, we built out what we call Instant Labs. And Instant Labs is constantly learning from everything that gets sent out. And what that means is that every email that gets sent out, every shopper that gets touched, whatever it is, Instant Labs is starting to pick up on all the information and then using that information to then create a better return when it comes to, for this example, open rates. So the winning open rate at the moment is emoji, what is it? Emoji, specific product and then first name. So that's the winning open rate at the moment. But like it's little things like that that you don't have to worry about. You can focus on, getting on with the business, creating the content for the next promotion, but allowing the Instant Labs to actually build out more of a strategy when it comes to stronger open rates, better click-through rates, when it comes to what the product recommendations are. These are all things to come. And then it's more important, we always say go steady. We work with everyone. So, we work with Shopify, we work with Shopify, we also work with Klaviyo. A lot of people get a bit concerned about when it comes to sending out an email, are you asking for a hard switch? No, not necessarily. It's not about a hard switch. We've built out an integration that allows us to transfer data in real time with Klaviyo and Shopify. So which means that anything from a customer perspective gives us an opportunity to really just understand more about what's happening, and then which means that you can actually use both products at the same time. So if you want to start off with just having a few flows with Instant, so with Instant AI, seeing those results, have that conversation. We'll have a look into it. We can see what the personalization looks like. And you can see here, Kickass is one of our clients, and within 30 days, they made 116K. And that's purely just based on one flow. Fayt the Label is also one of our biggest clients as well. So Flagship. Has anyone followed Brittany Saunders when she's doing her podcast? She does a lot of campaigning, and that's the reason why she's created such a community around her. One of the biggest things that she's always mentioned to us is that she sends out at least 3 to 4 campaigns per week because she's creating awareness. So she's gone in, tried Instant AI, and she created a much more personalized approach in every single touch point that she has with her shoppers. Then, as I don't know if you do follow her, you see that she just did, what is it called, Fayt Estate, which is like the whole Coachella of Fayt, which is amazing, all based around that personalization that she's building out through her emails. She's also now gone full switch over into AI, so AI mode. And I think it's 44% of her online revenue all comes from Instant. That's great. Thanks, guys. And then last three accounts that we work with that we just want to outline. Looking at these big numbers, it's as simple as that. It's having a chat to one of us, having a chat to Chelsea, we've got in the front row, and then just talking about what we can do, seeing what the AI system can provide you. But I'm pretty sure that my next one is done. That's all I've got for you. Thank you so much. Oh, and I dropped it. Was there any questions? No? Okay, great, perfect. Now go and have a drink.